Welcome, 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 everybody, to another episode of Late Night with BDD. I'm your host, BDD, aka Brooklyn Dad. Welcome back to the show, folks. What a crazy day today was. Insane. Before I continue, let me just make sure you guys can hear me okay, because sometimes my audio is not so bad. Hey, I see Cha-Cha is there. What's up, Cha-Cha? Long time no see. Meredith Powell, Sherry Scary, Veronica Tello. I see Rebecca Allen is here. Carol Carson. Let's see who else said it. If I miss you guys, Karen Purdy, how could I forget? Karen Purdy from Newton Falls, Ohio. Glad to see you. I haven't seen you in a minute. So welcome back, guys. We got a lot of stuff to cover, so I'm going to try to move this along in a relatively brisk clip. The name of today's show is Trump Gagged, McCarthy Booted. I like to see those words next to each other, very much so. Trump gagged. Trump is in court in New York for fraud. What else? What else is he ever in court for? Besides inciting insurrection and stealing classified information and a whole lot of other shit. Let's see. We got Mama AG. Cecile Kazemi is here. Before I move on, hey, Melendi. Hey, what's up? I see Melendi. Melendi is a friend of mine, former co-worker. We used to work together for the same crappy guy. Monique Lee is here. Cindy C. Asmila J. The gang is all here. Rebecca Allen. Did I say hi to you already? Let's keep going with this here. The big news, the historic news of the day was that Matt Gaetz made a motion to remove Kevin McCarthy as Speaker of the House, and that motion passed for the first time, not in like 25 years or 50 years or 30 years or 100 years. It's the first time in history. The last time this happened was back in 1910. That's how long ago that shit happened. So it's obviously it's unprecedented. We are in unknown waters, and it's not a great place to be. I do, however, want to point out a very funny comment made by Meredith Powell before the show started. She said it's like an episode of Hee-Haw on the congressional floor, only there's no cute bloodhound. I had to bring that up because I used to watch Hee-Haw, and that just tickled my funny bone. So thank you for that. Yes, Foxtail Dreams, I see you there too. Okay, so let's get started. This was the last the last unprecedented thing we had in the House was in January 7th, when this was like a vote around thing. 15 rounds it took to get to the sweet spot where Kevin McCarthy finally got to wield the gavel for 269 days, or what are they calling it now? 24 Scaramucci's. I think I saw, hey, Sandra from Paramount, California, I see you there. That's I think 22.6 Scaramucci's to be exact. Meanwhile, you see this handsome man here, Hakeem Jeffries, leading the Democratic caucus, which is unified. Republicans in disarray, Democrats unified. Unified. And greetings, Katrina Joan. Welcome. Welcome to Claudia too. Veronica Taylor says, Pelosi didn't have to vote on it, but but she had to be a little satisfied. I agree. I have a graphic for that's going to come up on later in the show. Thank you for pointing that out, Veronica. Yeah, I was listening when they called her name. She didn't answer. I believe somebody explained on the news that she was in mourning because, as we all know, Senator Dianne Feinstein passed recently. So rest in peace, rest in power to Senator Feinstein. Feinstein sounds wrong. It's Feinstein. Excuse me. And Mighty Jeremy is here. There we go. Before I forget, let me remind you all, if this is your first time here to the show, please remember to hit the subscribe button. It's there somewhere. I believe it's in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. And also hit the like button, which looks like a thumbs up. Please do that. It absolutely helps Brooklyn Dad get his groove on. Okay. And as also, as some of you guys know, I have started doing the subscriber classes. I have subscribers now. And every week I am sharing exclusive content. So this is not content for, the general public. Some of you guys who have been with me since the very beginning already have a preview of some of the content that I'm sharing in this class. So if you're looking to grow your account, make sure you check into my subscriber thing. Just hit the subscriber button in X or Twitter. I'm still calling it Twitter. Hello, Elaine Prieto. I see you there. Welcome. And I also did a Spaces this weekend. These are all things, mind you, like the subscriber thing and the Spaces thing, that I'm late to the party with these things. There are folks who've been doing Spaces since they first started. I don't know, what was it? 2 years ago did they start doing Spaces? I never liked it. I never understood the concept of it because at work, you got conference calls. I always hated conference calls. I always felt like you get nothing accomplished. You sit on the phone for 2 hours while other people are talking about things that have nothing to do with me, when I could be sitting there designing, doing whatever, and I can't get anything done on a conference call. But these are different. Spaces, I've learned, Spaces are different. And it's actually a cool experience to hear people's voices in real time. I guess that's the draw. And folks are really, really, really smart, like extremely smart. And at least the ones that came to my space are really smart. Lucy L says she saw me on the Sunday Space. Thank you, Lucy. And I also saw Punxsutawney Mo there, who did ask a question. I'm not sure if he's here with us tonight, but if you're out there, Punxsutawney Mo, thank you for showing up to that thing. What else happened this weekend? We saw President Jimmy Carter celebrate his birthday, his 99th birthday. Congratulations, by the way, to President Carter. That's what right living does for you. President Carter went into hospice care, I believe it was February. And he's still himself. You know what I mean? When they say, one of his relatives, it might have been a son or grandson, said that he is still himself, which means, the Alzheimer's hasn't taken him, or any of that bad stuff. He's still who he is, and that's a beautiful thing. He could have done anything really in the space after he left the presidency. As we've seen with Donald Trump, Donald Trump chose to use his power to do bad shit. That's why he's in such legal jeopardy. But President Carter could have done anything, right? He could have gone on the talk show circuit, and I'm sure he did a few. You got to make some money, Especially if you used to be the most powerful person on the planet and people want to pay to hear you speak, yeah, go ahead. All right. Don't hate the player, hate the game. You know? Oh no, Lynn Baker is saying Rosalind has dementia. That is sad. Sorry about that. So anyway, yeah, President Carter, I respect him greatly. He is a hero. He served in the Navy. He helped to avert nuclear catastrophe. Hello, Aries Wanderer. I see you there. But I think that the thing that I love about him the most is that he is a member, spokesperson. He's like a leader of Habitat for Humanity, where he builds houses, and he's been building houses. I'm not sure if he's still building houses. I mean, I would strongly advise against that at 99. At this stage in his life, come on, dude, you got nothing to prove to anybody. Take a rest. Let somebody else swing that hammer. All right, let's just, let's have a nice, easy time from here on out. Veronica Tello says Jimmy Carter's grandson was on Claim to Fame. He has so much love for Jimmy. Yeah, I think I saw that, believe it or not. Yeah. Let's see. And also, today, President Obama and Michelle Obama celebrating their anniversary. How lovely. This is a beautiful thing. So happy anniversary to you too. I believe it's their 31st anniversary. 31. Now, I put this in here. I know you guys want to get to the juicy shit, but I'm sorry. This is me. I love movies and I love TV show and I love sports. I'm not going to subject you to sports or movies, but I just finished watching this show tonight. Season 3 of Only Murders in the Building. It's on Hulu, starring Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena. Selena Gomez. It's a wonderful, wonderful show, and I would even venture to say that it gets progressively better every season. This season was absolutely fantastic, and it had an amazing cameo guest star. 2 guest stars actually, 2 amazing ones. One was Paul Rudd, and the other was none other than Meryl Streep. And Meryl Streep did her Meryl Streepness. She's awesome. She's fantastic. She will make you feel verklempt at times during this show. Really fantastic show. I can't rave enough about this show. I love it so much. And Steve Martin actually was hilarious. Steve Martin has a history in hilarity. He started off as a comedian, and he was funny as hell in this season. He usually in this show, he's like the straight man. When I say straight man, they have the funny guy and the straight man, the one who sets up the jokes. He was the funny guy this season. Very, very funny. And Paul Rudd, Sherry Scary says Missouri's Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd, you get the sense that in real life, he's just an awesome, cool dude. And does he age? He doesn't even age. He doesn't. So, Meredith Brazos, yes. I see that you're watching the show. Wonderful. Okay. Trump Reaper says Paul Rudd is hot and sexy. You know what? I'm not going to argue with you there. Yeah, dude has it going on. He's a wonderful guy. Okay, and this is the last one, I promise. Last TV show. This is the Continental. If you guys are fans of the movie, John Wick, there is a show on Peacock. It's called the Continental, and it's the backstory behind John Wick. If you guys have seen John Wick, the Continental you know then that the Continental is like a hotel that is like Switzerland, right? So there's no killing allowed on the premises of the Continental. And this shit kind of shows the background. John Wick is not in this. However, there is a bad guy in this who I'm gonna right now, trigger warning or whatever. But I got full disclosure. Mel Gibson is in this show, and if you don't want to watch it because Mel Gibson, I fully understand. But this is how I feel about that, right? I despise Mel Gibson, okay? I despise him and what he stands for, right? However, he is not the only person involved in this project. There are other actors here who are phenomenal. There are art directors. There are production assistants. There are, hair and makeup people. There are people who work on the cinematography and the art direction, all that stuff. There are people who do stuff other than Mel Gibson in this. Mel Gibson is an asshole in this, if that's any consolation to you. But the soundtrack of this show is phenomenal. The cinematography is phenomenal. And the acting, I wouldn't say it's phenomenal, but it's actually pretty good as far as TV shows go. Trump Reaper says Mel Gibson is a blaspheming anti-Semite. There you go. I agree 100%. With that said, I'm watching it for Mel Gibson. I'm watching it for everybody but Mel Gibson. And you get to root for his demise. Actively root for his demise. So there's that. Moving right along, our top story of the day. Well, actually, this isn't even the top story, but it's one of several top stories. Donald Trump is in court in New York City because New York Attorney General Letitia James got that ass, got his number. She's got his number, and she's got him up on charges of fraud. She is dismantling his ability to do business in New York City. In New York, the big city. And it's gotta hurt. It's gotta hurt because Donald Trump hates women and he hates black people. So he especially hates Letitia James because she is black and a woman. And she is putting her foot in that ace. When it's all said and done, excuse me, he will probably end up owing around $250 million. $250 million, not a small amount, especially to Donald Trump, who, as it turns out, shocker, has been lying about the value of his possessions. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that Donald Trump would not tell the truth about something? Yeah. So he would say to the IRS, for instance, right? So he catch a tax break. He would say that his property is worth, I don't know, let's say $10 million, right? But then to a bank that he's trying to get a loan from, he would say, my property is worth $1.5 billion, or $8 billion. I heard Michael Cohen say something about, saying like, no, you know what? It's $6 billion. No, I feel like it's worth $8 billion. Michael Cohen's task was to fake the paperwork to make his property look like it was worth $8 billion. Yeah. Oh, and Lynn Baker, thank you. I keep forgetting to tweet about this. Lynn Baker, thank you for the reminder. They just booted him out of Forbes. I remember the days when a lot of us were sitting around, sometimes on this show, we were sitting around saying like, damn, everything is just Teflon Don with this guy. Nothing, he's not getting any accountability. And slowly but surely, it's like, have you ever heard of the thing called Chinese water torture? Apparently, it's a form of torture where they strap you down and one drop of water hits you in the forehead. I don't know, maybe once every 30 seconds, once every minute. And after, I don't know, after hours or days of this sort of thing, that little drop of water, they say it feels like a sledgehammer. And Carol Carson, yes, you are correct. I have been on Michael Cohen's show, Mea Culpa. That dude is fantastic. If you have not yet listened to his podcast, you're missing out. Michael Cohen is funny and super duper intelligent. And the fact that he knows he knows law like very well. Um, it adds another dimension to the things that he has to say, and the fact that he knows Donald Trump so well is also an added bonus. So give his show a listen. You can download it wherever you get your podcasts. Black Queen wants to know, will he ever see jail? Trump? I believe so. I'm gonna say yes. If I'm wrong, sue me. I believe he's got at least one of these, at least one. And come to think of it, when I was on Michael Cohen's show, I got a chance to ask him which of the cases did he think presented the most jeopardy for Michael Cohen. And he actually took umbrage to that because he doesn't like that people want to pick one case that's sexy and one that's more dangerous, etc. But he said the one that's the most straightforward is this fraud case, because it's just straight up paperwork. And the judge himself also determined that, this thing is straightforward. We don't really need a trial for this. So Letitia James, before I continue, I got to show you this thing, right? So people are hilarious. Somebody posted this picture of the back of Donald Trump's head. Now, is this petty? Sure it is. It's petty, but it's also funny as hell. Sorry, sue me. So let's see. I just want to show you something that I found here. People are hilarious. I just want to share this with you. Share screen. Let's pick folks say, yeah, this one here. Yeah. Okay. Oh wait, no, not that one. All right, the other one. Give me a second. Okay, so this one here. Okay. Damn. So I tweeted, damn, many people are saying that Trump hates this extremely unflattering picture of the back of his fat head in a New York courtroom. Be a real shame if everyone reposted this and spread it like wildfire all over the internet. Real shame. So what I love are the replies. Paul Ottix did this one here. This is hilarious. A guy mowing the lawn. Great. And let's see, there's another one here. This one is funny because there's Hillary as Moses spreading the Red Sea, parting the Red Sea, but also parting the back of his head. I said here, the internet remains undefeated. Okay, so let's go back to this here. And so here's the judge here. Judge Engoron, I believe is his name. This judge is not playing around. Right? Do I have this? First of all, so this is not going to be a trial with a jury. It's a trial without the jury. And why is that? Because Trump's very excellent attorney, Alina Habba, just forgot to uncheck this box. People were getting on my case like, no, she didn't forget. It was intentional. Oh yeah, then why are they complaining to the judge that they don't have a trial with jury? You know, they accidentally did that. But this judge here has issued a gag order on Donald Trump because earlier today, Donald Trump decided to boost a Truth Social post by some internet troll who had a picture of the lady who is to the left of the judge. That is Allison Greenfield. She is the judge's clerk. She's also an attorney. So he posted this, and naturally, when you get somebody like Donald Trump posting these things, he intends to harass that private citizen. He is intending to sick his followers on this private citizen. So I personally don't think that the judge cares what Donald Trump says about him, about the judge himself. He does, however, care about the people who work with him and for him. So, oops, yeah. Now you're gagged, you fool. And it's weird that a former president of the United States has to be treated like a child. Has to be told, no, you cannot harass people. No, you cannot sick or threaten private citizens. And this is somebody who people are seriously considering to put back into the White House. I don't get it. It's mind-boggling. I really will never, ever understand it. It's not just the people that you'd like to think it's this guy Jethro who's got no education and he lives in a trailer and he doesn't bathe and he's got bad teeth. No. It's not just what you picture as the stereotypical Trumper. These are people who've been to college. These are people who are professional. They have professions. The people who are doctors and lawyers. Business owners. Probably a lot of business owners because they think that, the economy does better with the Republican president, but that's wrong. The economy does better under Democratic presidents. Always has, always will. But the bottom line is I think Donald Trump's supporters, his followers like him because he irritates us. He triggers us. I'm not triggered by him. I am just, I'm annoyed by him. I'm baffled. I'm baffled that an adult human being acts like that. And that it is accepted. It is accepted by people who call themselves Christian. And Donald Trump's behavior is the complete antithesis of what I understand to be Christianity. How a Christian is supposed to act. Because look, a lot of, I'm not saying that Christians are perfect, right? But a lot of them, they tend to project like, I'm pious and I go to church and I give money. And if you're a good Christian, you treat your neighbors well and da. But he is like the opposite of that. Exact opposite. Frankly, I know a lot of people who are atheists and agnostic, who don't even believe in God, who are wonderful human beings. Wonderful. I love them so much. They're beautiful. All right, let's get down to this shit show here. This shit show. Back in January 7th, Kevin McCarthy became Speaker of the House. But it wasn't easy peasy 1, 2, 3. They took a while to get there. They took 15 rounds. 15 rounds to agree to hand him the gavel. Each one of those 15 rounds, I saw Rep. Pramila Jayapal speaking today, and she was great. She pointed out how Democrats were in unison. We were in lockstep through all 15 rounds of that debacle. All 15 rounds, we were with Representative Hakeem Jeffries, the minority leader. Oh, this is a good one. Wait. Meredith Powell says, Trump is to Christianity what long hair is to drains. That's clever. And wait, did I see Wilbur? Wilbur McCarthy is here, ladies and gentlemen. Wilbur McCarthy, welcome to you, my friend. Watcher Soko. Bernadette H. I didn't say hi to you before. I'm saying hi now. And that damn Karen is here, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, that damn Karen. Barry Hicks, welcome to you too, Barry. And yeah, I mean, it got contentious. It became contentious. This scene here, and by the way, every time I see this picture, I always imagine the audio here sounds something like, "Get your hands off me, goddamn! I said, fucking kill you." This is what happened when Matt Gaetz was like holding out, and people had enough. It was just like Matt Gaetz and like a handful of other people who, hey, what's up, your boy Ken? I see you there, buddy. Your boy Ken is here too, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Gaetz was one of the few holdouts, and it was unclear what the hell he was even holding out for. But finally, they all got on the same page after round 15, and I don't know what deal Kevin McCarthy made with the kookier elements of his caucus, but the deal wasn't good enough. It didn't hold. It didn't hold because Matt Gaetz yesterday made a motion to remove, and then today they voted on that shit. And for the first time, the very first time in United States history, a United States House of Representatives Speaker was ousted. And I believe that the final vote was 216 to 210, was it? There was a bunch of people missing. Last I seen, that was the number. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But yeah, it was startling to see that. But frankly, you can't really be surprised. I knew he was weak. I knew he was being led around by the nose by Marjorie Taylor Greene. He wasn't really a speaker. He wasn't really a leader. These Republicans weren't accomplishing anything during his very short 269-day tenure. They accomplished nothing. Nothing. They, the people who were speaking up on behalf of Kevin McCarthy were trying to make it sound like he was the best speaker since sliced bread. Nah, they didn't do shit. They didn't do anything except complain about gas stoves, about trends, about books, about sexy M&Ms, a whole lot of garbage. And Hunter Biden's laptop, which strangely enough, Matt Gaetz said something today. I gotta find that tweet. Matt Gaetz said something like, that investigation is a sham. Like, how did I not retweet that as soon as I saw it? I was busy earlier this afternoon, so maybe that's what happened. But you know who else was busy? Apparently, Liz Cheney was busy. She was busy on the phone with Dan Goldman, who's a Democratic representative in the House of Representatives. And they said, people are saying that Liz Cheney called him. So I put this meme together. Tell Kevin, I want him to know it was me. So good. I love it. I love it so much. Okay, put this back here. I also thought it was interesting that before Kevin even had the gavel in his hand, he was. Oh, I'm sorry. For those of you who have not watched Game of Thrones, that picture I showed earlier with Liz Cheney's head photoshopped on there was Lady Olenna from a TV show called Game of Thrones. And in that scene, she's actually saying, "Tell Cersei I want her to know it was me." Cersei was bad, so was Lady Olenna, and she got some payback. Anyway, so that meme is shorthand for payback. And I guess it's not so much payback for Nancy Pelosi, but she gets the last laugh today, because I'm old enough to remember, and I tweeted this earlier today, I'm old enough to remember when Kevin McCarthy was making jokes about hitting Nancy Pelosi on the head with the gavel. Yeah, I remember that. That shit happened. Life comes at you fast sometimes, especially if you're an asshole. If you're an asshole, sometimes karma, they just look you up in the yellow pages or the white pages. I think the white pages is the residential and the yellow pages is the commercial, right? If you're old enough to remember white pages and yellow pages, raise your hand. Because I remember that shit. Yeah. Kevin McCarthy could have preserved his speakership had he been bold enough to make a deal with Democrats. Now, people will say, well, that would have been political suicide for him. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. President Biden has made a career of, reaching across the aisle. And he's proved it. He's proven it over and over and over. And even during his presidency, he has done so. And who benefits? Who benefits when a bipartisan compromise is able to be reached? The American people. That's who benefits. Then we get things like infrastructure. No small thing at all. Let's see, what else do we benefit from today? We just got news today that the 10 top drug makers, Medicare is now able to negotiate directly with them to bring down the prices of drugs. That is huge. Huge, because medical costs, drug costs are probably, the most prohibitive thing to surviving in America. Those high prices. They got to come down, but they're not going to just come down by themselves. You need people to step to the drug makers on our behalf. And so that's what Medicare is going to be doing. And overall, what I'd like to say about prices in general, I don't think enough negative pressure is put on CEOs and these companies, these corporations who are setting the prices. It's not like Joe Biden is picking up the phone and saying, "Hey, listen, Sunoco, is this the CEO of Sunoco? Hey, why don't you raise the price of gas about, I don't know, raise it 25 cents, because that surely is going to help me get reelected." He's not doing that. He's not calling the head of ShopRite supermarket chain. You guys familiar with ShopRite? Or, I don't know, Publix or Circle K or whatever supermarket or grocery store you go to for your goods. He's not calling them up and saying, "Hey, why don't you raise the price of meat and eggs and milk? Why don't you stick it to the little guy?" He's not doing that. It's these greedy fucks in the corporations that are just stuffing their pockets, keep raising the prices, and then people look around and say, what is causing this? What's inflation? Like inflation is like a hurricane or something that's like, it's an act of nature. I can't control inflation. It's beyond my control. Actually, you can control it. You guys set the prices. Bring those things down. You've had enough. So yeah. It makes me. I get tired when people try to put the blame for these prices on President Biden or Democrats or even on Republicans. It's nobody doing that. Well, actually, maybe it could be Republicans. It could be Republicans because they, I would like to think it's neither of the parties that some of them actually do want us to not be crushed by these corporations. I'd like to believe that, but yeah, we'll see how it says. But they're always blaming the Democrats. If I took nothing else away from the past 2 years of being able to watch both Democrats and Republicans, if I was an alien, okay, if I was an alien from outer space and landed on Earth and just watched both sides for the past 2 years, I would think that I would say, guys, let's go, because obviously these Republicans are an alien race that is determined to destroy mankind here. So, they've already got this on the lockdown. Yeah, they're not doing anything to help Americans. So, Barry Hicks says, according to Occupy Democrats, they've just nominated Trump to replace McCarthy. That's disgusting. I'm disgusted by it. So, questions. You guys got questions for me? Let's hear it. I think I told you guys in the last show I did, which was 2 weeks ago, because last week, as some of you know, I was in San Francisco, spreading my dad's ashes. I was there with my sisters, and it was a beautiful ceremony. So, questions. Sherry Scary is saying, does not seem possible. I think you're talking about nominating Trump for the House. It is possible because technically you don't have to. The Speaker of the House does not have to be a member of the House. You don't even have to. You don't have to be a representative. Thank you, Carol. Veronica tells us we aren't blaming the Republicans for Menendez. No. And what's interesting about that is that almost as soon as the news broke, there were like Democratic senators lining up to say, we want him to step down immediately. Like they didn't even wait for him to be, tried in court or anything. He should have his day in court. I will say that. And sometimes there's a rush to judgment because I feel like we feel like don't embarrass us. Don't embarrass us with that corruption shit. Republicans own the brand for corruption. That's not our brand. All right, you're embarrassing us. Come on. We're almost like we're not with him. Karen Purdy wants to know, how's wifey and kids? Wifey is lovely. Kids are lovely. Everybody lovely. Thank you for asking. Box Engines, how are you doing? I'm okay. Everybody has stresses that they deal with, but all things considered, I try not to get too high or too low. I'm just trying to keep myself busy. I've been busy, and busy helps time fly by quicker. Um, and yeah, I will say I'm very interested in doing some more of those spaces. Um, A, because I feel like I learned some stuff doing the spaces, and B, because it's fun. Actually, it's a different thing. So I just have to wrap my brain around scheduling time for that, for spaces and whatnot. And I had some people helping me on the spaces, and I thank them if they're listening. Dr. Mike, L. King, thank you guys for your help in moderating that. The same way you guys moderate this show here, the comments. Don't think I didn't see. I saw some assholes pop up in the comments, and you were like, "Nope, get out." you guys handle your business. Thank you to my moderators in this show. You guys are wonderful. And I want to say, Trump Reaper, can you email me? I don't know. Did I give you my email? I tend to not give out my email address. Send me a DM here. Let's take that discussion offline, Trump Reaper. Did I see any bears? No, but what's interesting is that part of California, I mean, I was surprised that we didn't see any bears, because everywhere you go, there's the black bear diner, there's the black bear inn, everything is black bear up there. And I was like, holy shit. My wife is like, I want to see a bear. I was like, I don't want to see a bear. don't want to see a bear. Even black bears are supposedly the least dangerous, but I don't know. Anytime you get an animal with great big teeth and big sharp claws, and they weigh over 600 pounds, that's dangerous to me. It's dangerous. So no, I didn't see any. Scary says, how about voter turnout, Taylor Swift loving on the Kansas City Chiefs and Travis Kelce? Indeed. I'm going to say what I said before is, not on the show, but somewhere I said, I really wasn't a big fan of Taylor Swift until I saw her do that thing. She got 35,000 people to sign up for voter registration like that. I think, within a 24-hour period, 35,000 people just signed up to vote. I think that's amazing. It is amazing. So I hope more celebrities take note of what she did and use their platforms for that, because 35,000 here, 100,000 here. I'm sure Beyonce could do something like that. We're not under any misconceptions here. We know what side Beyonce's on, and Jay-Z. Come on, we know. So step your game up. Let's see. Happy Hippie says, wow, I finally caught you live. Pink hand waving. Yes. No, Lucielle, I didn't see any coyotes. No coyotes. The only wildlife I saw were squirrels. Oh, we saw deer. We saw loads of deer every morning. We got up. We stayed in a little cabin in the woods. I guess it's a cabin. It was like an Airbnb, but it's like it looked like a cabin. It's like this thing was all wood, and just we go outside on the porch and just see deer walking past. We'd see 2 big ones in the front, and then 4 smaller ones, medium size, behind them, and then 2 babies, bringing up the rear every day. So those, we saw eagles, in the sky. Well, it was either eagles or vultures. I don't know. Squirrels. That's pretty much it. Yeah, nothing exotic, I think. Yeah, a snail J. I don't get MAGA hating on Taylor Swift. Like, there's a saying, like they say, "Don't poke the bear." You know, not that I would equate Taylor Swift with a bear, but I mean, like, she's very, very popular. You know, you could just ignore her, but if you like, you make a point, like you want to go to war with her, she'll just get her Swifties. In fact, her Swifties will get her Swifties. You go after Taylor, and her Swifties will come up with some kind of thing to like clown you. So remember what happened? I think it was in Arizona, and there were like a bunch of TikTokers that bought up all the tickets for one of Donald Trump's rallies. That was hilarious. So his rally ended up looking very empty. They can do stuff like that, or even worse, they can just show up on election day and clobber your opponent. What I want to see on election day 2024, I want to see a victory, an unprecedented victory, never before seen. So, you know how President Biden beat Trump by 7 or 8 million votes? I want him to defeat him by like 25 million, 30 million votes. I want his electoral map to look like Ronald Reagan's electoral map. Like, let's give Trump like 2 states, maybe 2 or 3 states. I don't want that, because I feel like if we don't get like a real blue tsunami, like just an overwhelming repudiation of MAGA, it's going to continue. Republicans have to learn that it does not pay to MAGA. That MAGA does not pay. You embrace MAGA, you will not get elected. That's what we need to see. We need to see that. And I don't have patience for those Robert F. Kennedy Jr. characters, those third party. Not now. Not now. Nope. Not now. Maybe 12 years from now, when we've gotten back to some semblance of normalcy, where people aren't trying to storm the Capitol and overturn elections, we get back to a normal place like that, where you don't have a guy who is a former president or a candidate for president who incited insurrection or or threatened his former Joint Chiefs of Staff with execution. Come on. Crazy. We're in crazy times now. And Veronica Tello wants to know, did I eat at the Black Bear Diner? Yes, I did. And I had a bear claw. The bear claw there. It was very good. Ponsatonimo is here. What's up, buddy? There he is. Nick Baker wants to know, what city was I in? I was in okay, so the city we stayed in was Groveland, which was about, I want to say 20 miles away from Yosemite. And the place where my dad's ashes were spread is called Coulterville. Coulterville is like right there. It's like right smack dab on the edge of Yosemite. And I learned that originally I thought we were going to spread my dad's ashes in Yosemite. That's illegal. You can't do that in a state park. No, absolutely cannot. So it was in Coulterville, and it was called Better Places. Hang on. I always forget the name of this place. So that's why I took a picture of the sign. It's Better Place Forests. Better Place Forests. Really nice. That was where they buried, we sprinkled my dad's ashes. And I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is a thing of mints. My dad's name was Mo. That's my dad right there. I don't know if you can see that. Come on. Right? Can you see that? And it says, have a Mo mint. Right? Come on, down here. It says, have a Mo mint. And it's, that's Mo. These are mints. No, Mo mints. They're very good. Let's see. And the kitties are doing great. I love them so much. They're adorable. There's Kobe and Mars. Kobe has a little cheeky leg, her rear right leg, but she's doing okay. And Mars is great too. And so is Rain. I'm not sure what's happening here. This looks like Alaska Cindy. She's saying, hey, Twinster. And you change your name to C. Griffith? Is that it, Cindy? Cindy Lou Twinster. Okay. Valerie G says, vote blue. Yes, thank you, Valerie G. Beard is inherited. Yes, yes. So, okay, you guys, thank you very much for joining me for another episode of Late Night with BDD. I'm your host, BDD, aka Brooklyn Dad. Up. Once telling you, there's another question. How's the book coming? It's slow. I'm gonna keep it real with you. It's coming. It's slow, but it's coming. It is coming. I am working on the second book, just so you know. When I have stuff to show you guys, I will share it with you. So if you have not yet gotten your booster, I think it's boosters now. I think most everybody's gotten their vaccination. Get that booster shot. Keep your social distance 6 feet or better, and enjoy the rest of your evening. I will see you guys again real soon. Same time, same place. I love you all. Peace. And thank you to Watcher Soko. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. This was fun. This was fun, Meredith Powell says. Cindy says, backseat music is baby making music. Hey, Tanya Vav says she got her booster last week. Well done. Very good. Meredith says, is spaces like this? I'm going to say no, because I know for a fact people are not, at least the spaces I've been to, it's only a handful, but I haven't heard anybody playing music. The difference between this and spaces, so I do get to put your comments up on the screen for everybody to see. in spaces, people actually get to speak. I can pass you the mic and you get to speak for however long you need to speak. And we keep the conversation moving. Karen Purdy wishing everyone a good night, saying stay safe and stay healthy and love to all. Thank you, Carol Carson. So long for now. Thank you too. What? Wait a minute. Somebody just hit me with Veronica Tello. Veronica, thank you so kindly. That is very sweet of you. Thank you so much. I do appreciate the kindness. Thank you. Oh, Cindy, you did catch the show. Yeah, Nat Set guy was cool and very smart. I was one of those guys like, I'm gonna have to hook up with him and have a spaces to share with everybody. And Carol Carson, thank you so kindly. And you guys, thank you so much for showing up. But it's that time. You need to leave.